Well, we're about to install the new decals on the report letterer's sign. First of all, make sure you have all your safety vest on and signage and any other safety requirements are met before you start. Now just what we need a pencil, just a normal black lead pencil, paper towel, a felt squeegee, a normal squeegee, but you'll have a double edge. One edge will be felt and the other edge will be normal, so that's what you'll need. And the Vipond's prep lube, that's for cleaning and as a gives a bit of movement between the decal and the surface when you're positioning it. So they're the gear you need for a start. Well, first of all we need to thoroughly clean the surface of the sign. Any marks and bits and pieces on the sign, you can use the prep lube and the paper towel. Now when you're cleaning, just make sure you double clean over where the new decal has to go, and that needs to be squeaky clean. Now we have to make two marks so we can accurately position the decal over the centre of the existing phone number. In this instance, the height of the 1 in the phone number is 100 millimeters, the height of our decal is 140 millimeters, so what we need to do is put a mark that is 20 millimeters above the 1, and then on the other side we measure down exactly the same distance, so we end up with two marks above the existing lettering. These marks are the same distance from the top of the sign, so that when you place the new lettering on, it is exactly parallel with the top surface of the sign. Now position the decal over the centre of the existing lettering and manually line it up to the centre of the sign. Place a little mark on the end for a reference when we apply the decal. Now this is an important part. We must wet the adhesive side of the decal thoroughly and do it the first thing you do. That way that if it brushes against something it won't stick and you won't damage the decal. Once it's wet it's a lot easier to handle. So especially if it's windy, just peel off a little bit at a time and spray that surface, and also lift your fingers up so you get water under where your fingers are holding the decal. Now just pull down a little bit at a time and thoroughly wet it. You can quite drench it if you like, make it as wet as you like. And once all that is wet, we can then wet the surface where the decal has to go and accurately place the decal over the existing phone number using the marks that we've previously put on to line it up so it's accurately lined up straight and square and in the centre of the sign. Now once we have it lined up accurate, you'll find that rather than slide it, you may need to just lift it off and reposition it to get it accurately lined up to those marks that we've put on. Now spray the surface of the decal once it's sitting there, and using the felt squeegee or the felt side of the squeegee or not, you've got squeeze from the centre of the decal out. A couple of light squeeges for a start, then you get harder and harder, so you make sure you get all that water out from underneath the decal. You may have to work a little bit extra on some of the edges and that, and once you've got it thoroughly squeegeed down, it's probably a good idea just to dry the surface off, especially around the edge of the decal. Now you may find that some of the edges aren't quite stuck down as well as they should be. So what I do now is just once you've dried the surface of that sign off, now using the hard edge of the squeegee, just go around and squeegee down any little bits that might not be stuck that well. If there are any edges that haven't stuck that well, just leave it while you clean up the rubbish and come back 5 or 10 minutes later. Right, I've cleaned up my rubbish and I'm just coming back for a final check. I just slightly wet the surface of the decal again, just make sure we don't scratch the surface. Now go around and push those edges down as hard as what you can using the edge of the squeegee, and because it's had a little bit of time to dry out, you're going to have all those edges sealed really well. We're using the hard edge of the squeegee here. You might have this problem if the decal's been damaged a little bit around the edge, that you just again might just have to leave it a bit longer and come back and re-squeegee them. Once the fluid's evaporated out, you'll find that they'll stick down quite well even if the decal is slightly damaged on those edges. Now just a final clean and the job's finished. Now if you need any more help or advice, just call Steve at Signs Plus on 0350 33 1124. Thank you.